The Timelog reflection and evaluation assignment can be found two places in the modules. First, under the quick access, and second, because it's due week 14, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you will see that it is also present there. When you go to this link, and regardless of which place you click, it will take you to the exact same document. When you click on the Timelog and reflection evaluation, it will take you to this page right here. I always encourage you to read the course outcomes. There's the assignment description. But down here under the directions is where you'll need to really start navigating around. This Timelog reflection and evaluation document, I recommend opening up as soon as possible. It's a great thing to download onto your computer as early as week 1, just so you can keep track of what you're doing throughout the semester. It'll make everything go much more smoothly. In just a moment, we'll look at that document. You'll be filling that out. You'll be typing the responses into this document, submit it as a single document, and then you're also going to be submitting your hours into Weber Sync, which we'll talk about here in just a moment. But here's a video that walks you through how Weber Sync works and what that looks like and can guide you step by step. So you're going to be doing a single submission of your total number of hours into Weber Sync, where it's an itemized thing in this Timelog. You'll put your professor's name and the weber.edu email address as far as the contact person, and then the total number of hours submitted needs to match the total number in your Timelog. And that way your instructor can sign off on what you've done. This is a CCEL class, which is the Center for Community Engaged Learning. With it being a community-based health or population health class, this is a really important aspect of the learning dynamic. But with it being CCEL designated, that does mean you do need to submit those hours into Weber Sync before you can receive your final grade for this Timelog. Again, your Timelog is submitted to your professor, and then you put the final number of hours into Weber Sync. So when you click on this link right here, it will pull up a document. It looks like this, and let me hover on over. So in this, you'll notice it's a Word document that you can interact with. This does need to be individually, so even if you work with groups as part of your projects, you keep track of what you individually have done towards that. This does need to be typed. Handwritten will not be accepted unless you've cleared that through your instructor ahead of time. And the total number of hours at the bottom. All of the assignments that meet criteria to add to the log are on here. So time spent researching for the vulnerable population selection, your community assessment, get on the bus, time spent in the vulnerable population, health concerns, etc. So if you look down through here, this right here where it says time spent for community service is also known as the community engagement aspect of it. But what you'll do is for all of the hours that you log, you need to put the date, how many hours you completed, a description of the activity with an explanation along with it, and then also for those that are applicable, you need to make sure you put the contact person, phone number, and email. So for example, time that you spent looking up things online for the assessing health programs and community partnerships, there won't necessarily be a contact person. But for some of those community engagement hours, there will be, and so you need to make sure you have that person listed. You put a total number of hours down here at the bottom, and that total number at the bottom is what you enter into Weber Sync. Also, if we look down here, this is kind of an agreement that by submitting this you understand that there's academic integrity policies that you're agreeing to. You can read through those. There's an individual reflection as part of this document. You need to put what population was your population of focus right here. Any groups that you worked with as far as your classmates, people you worked with within your class, within group projects. I put some of the feedback there, things that went well, things that didn't. Just as a whole, as far as the group dynamic, or if you chose to do it alone, what feedback do you have on that? Community partners, because this is a population focused class and you're doing community engagement, you will have community partners. This is where we appreciate getting feedback as far as how that went. Were there partners you found that were great to work with that you'd highly recommend for students in the future? If so, we'd love to be able to pass that along. Were there community partners you tried to reach out to and after repeat calls you didn't hear back, or you didn't have the experience you're hoping to have? give us that feedback as well so that we can talk to the partners about the best way to move forward, not only for your experience, but throughout upcoming semesters. You're going to describe what you learned about your community and population health as a whole, kind of throughout your community. And then you're also going to describe what you learned about yourself and your specific role in population health, and then any additional thoughts. At the bottom is the final portion, and what you're going to do is an evaluation. If you worked by yourself on everything, then go ahead and give yourself a rating. If you worked with other people, whether it was one person you worked with on a lot of projects or different people for different projects, put down the name of each person that you worked with throughout the semester on specific projects, and then go ahead and enter in here how you would rate them. These ratings for yourself and for others will be taken into consideration, and that way we can kind of see how the class dynamics are working and how that looks. So this needs to be submitted by the end of week 14, and your final hours in Weaver Sync need to be submitted in order to get points. So please let us know if you have any questions.